You're listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
All right, here we go again. Buckle up, rough roads ahead. So I walked in the store and I knew I needed some hydration material. Such as Gatorade or Body Armor or something like that. Although I did have water in my vehicle, I knew I wanted to buy that. But when I walked into the store, I'd already forgotten that. So here comes this Shawnee, I think it was Shawnee Police Department officer, pushing a cart full of hydration beverages. It may have been water, but it jogged my mind, and I'm like, oh, that's right, I got to buy the. Now, it didn't work perfect because they had orange mango and one of the other flavors, not as acidic and just a better flavor, but it'll work. I mean, it probably tastes good with vodka, but. I got a queue there, be it minuscule compared to my work. So yeah, that agent was all angry. She looked in the cup and it was dog crap. Oh, what's he throwing away? Yeah, you must look at that. Figure out what it is. Trying to remember what I was going to say. Oh, okay. Yeah, I won't be attending any Pride events, although I imagine law enforcement will be. I'm monitoring. I'm solely monitoring for increases in aggression and radicalization in any direction, although I heal things while I'm doing that. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry. This body armor is not bad. Superior hydration. Someone was saying I had bought a third one of these, like I didn't actually need this one, but I went through storage. It could be in there. I didn't see it. I think I threw one away, maybe. I may have had more. I don't know. I don't know where they are. It would be. I had two of them, and I remember that. I really didn't want to spend the money, but sometimes you have to. Trying to get my credit cards down to zero on the day that they cycle. That may have been why they attacked my credit. Believe me, there was an attack on my credit. So it is what it is. What you don't get is I'll think like, wow, I wish I had one of those vehicles. And then you all will show up in those vehicles sometimes. So again, you're working with Satan, all of you. I know that beyond any shadow of a doubt. No, God's not going to do that to me. There's no doubt that God wouldn't do that to me. That color too. Like every one of these vehicles, just about every one of these vehicles that they're, the resto vehicle, or not resto, what do they call them? Retro vehicles. One of my vehicles that I've looked at for so many years, like in the original form. I'm like a vehicle enthusiast, but you screwed up my life in reference to that. And I'm owed. I mean, every one of those societies owes me. Okay, now I remember what I was going to say. There's been topic all morning inside. Okay, so you'll say, well, the church told me this, my boss told me that, but you're part of it, right? And you get for it, right? But you're also part of a society that does not allow the truth to be told. You can't get out of it that way. See, that's the scam that they all get to in their mind. Well, the church told me this. It doesn't matter. When you're somebody that's part of a criminal society that doesn't let the truth to be told, then you're forcing your own ignorance. But of course, you're probably not that ignorant. 100%. You're forcing the ability to say that you're ignorant. Unreversed. See, on Earth, they can reverse to say that I'm the one that's doing that. No, it's a reversal. It's a spell because they have status. So like FBI, DHS, CIA, foreign spies, criminal enterprise, cartels in Mexico, all work together to make themselves rich and everybody else poor. Remember, the key to their happiness is not the money. It's your poverty. It's the poverty of the other people and the failures in their lives. That's what makes them happy. That's what the government is, and that's why the government will go to hell. Being in the government will send you to hell. I'm telling you that right now. The instruction is to come out of Babylon. Well, once upon a time, if you're only about God. Golden opportunity preacher. Like, oh yeah, we couldn't let him be a preacher. You couldn't let who be a preacher? The person you hate, right? You hate him because he isn't a crook. '69 Chevelle, or '68, probably '69. Super Sport convertible. Like, I don't know if it's probably a 396. So again, the idea is this, willful ignorance, or it's even to the point where you're forcing your own ignorance, but of course you're probably not that ignorant because you're in a society that stops the truth from being told. I left the government because I realized it was evil. First, I left to save my life, I guess. I'm still asleep, Well, actually, I started waking up and the spirits led me. I started having some crazy visions and I left. They were very desperate to kill me. And I started having visions in that direction, but it was going to harm other people. I mean, they were as far as wanting to lead a terrorist to some place that I was to cause an explosion to kill me. And of course, it would kill others. Again, I'm not too sure about the Oklahoma City bombing. I think that was a construct. You only investigate so far. Unabomber also. After I went through it, I could look at these people that when they were arrested, and tell something was going on. So I could look back at the footage and see that Ted Kaczynski had been operated, and then part of it was to rule judges to do what they say. Again, the deep state criminal enterprise, or they would be next. So somebody may have known where Ted Kaczynski was for 10 years. I don't know how long he went. I didn't study it that deep, but that's just case in point. Thank you, Larry. And use it to rule judges. Blackfish and the Plum or Plum, whatever it is, south of there. There's a big crucifix right here on the right. Something's wrong down that way. But I'm turning. Hey, there's a camera here. Hi! I got one of those here on my visor. And a couple more in the back. So I wasn't sure if this young guy, there's a couple of young people, and they use a lot of young people, and that's where a lot of the white supremacists are coming from and all that. So I pulled up, I got in my van to leave, and I fired up the internet, or I was getting ready to fire up the internet. I had the headphones on and the thing, and he gets out of his vehicle. He goes, "Why do you have this camera in your vehicle?" So again, that could be one of their people, and they'll set him into motion. They'll pay him and be part of an organization to make a complaint. And I said, just for security in my van. I mean, security cameras. He's just looking at me. It's fun. I can turn. And he walked off, and he kind of looked back slowly at the guy next to him. So could have been some of those people. Missouri, Walmart, state line. So it's really funny. I see this woman, and I'm not the only one that sees her. I realize she's like a big woman. She works at Walmart. She's Korean. Like I haven't seen her in a long time. So last night I was on one of my shopping trips was to make vegetarian bulgogi, which is a Korean dish. And I see her, and I'm like, long time no see. And I just was laughing. She's a little freaked out. So I hope following her and then trying followed and harassed with me. 100%. Oh, it's two Chevelles. They're both convertibles. One behind, I think it's a 70 to a 72. I can't see the grill. Oh, it's a 70. Possibly a 71, but probably a 70 SS. Red and black, the 70. Blue and white top, the other one. Black stripes on the 70. Could be a 71, 70 or 71. I can't see the grill too close. Now it doesn't sound like an SS424, so probably a 396. But I think then it was a 402. I think. Can't remember. I haven't studied that stuff in a long time. No, I don't leave communities to flee an investigation. Not a fugitive from investigation if something like that does exist. That's the kind of shit they say. I leave because you're pieces of shit. So this community right now is considered a piece of shit. There's no available housing. So it's not only me. Don't play that game. You do it for money, all of you. You do it for corruption. So I'm going to use the wash one more time, but I think because I have like a it flipped over and I just paid like a few weeks left. But I think that's what may have scratched my windshield. I have to get the windshield guy in here sometime and ask him what he thinks. It looks like the wax may have piled up at the center of the windshield and hardened, and then the windshield wiper picked it up and scratched the windshield. Oh my God. Probably has something to do with them cursing my car wash and my and when remember I told you the wax was a good wax. Because I doubt that was there before that. But again, when they're doing their stuff, that's the problem. You can't see your health. You can't see something like that exact date that occurred because it just looked like a dirt streak or something. 100%. Your mind just can't. And it isn't like, oh, because you're guilty of a crime. That's like me and some agents were speaking about it in the mind today. The stupidest one is, oh, they killed themselves, case closed. Because then you're like, well. But that's how they do it. The person's only a suspect. They could never charge the person. So they psychologically operate the person that killed themselves. And they go, oh, case closed. Well, it's obvious he killed himself because he's guilty. And everybody knows you can kill anybody. 100%. Almost anybody. It's like stupid. Ignorant. It's actually evil. Clearing a case by killing someone when most likely somebody they know that paid them committed the crime. Or they committed the crime. That's how cops get their crime solved that they committed. Pick somebody, get them to commit suicide, and then the case is closed. Predator duty. They just went in Des Moines. They just waited. I mean, they already contacted Des Moines. They just told me. They already. If I go to Des Moines, somebody's already ready, and he's a predator. He's on. He might be on duty right, or she. He. Several. It says on duty right now. These are predators that do that kind of shit, man. And what they say is, well, we're taking revenge for the people that hurt the kids and the women. It's like bullshit. You're fucking their heads so they'll hurt the women and the kids. That's what they call it. Well, I mean, it's actually scientifically it would be called spycraft, psychological warfare, psychological torture. That's how they say, go F his head. So you see, I know something's already in Des Moines, like I knew something was already in Kansas City. So it really doesn't matter. No, this place is shit. If I leave in 2 to 6 months without getting somewhere, gotta act accordingly, rate it accordingly, and I'll carry the curses accordingly. The whole metropolitan area. I don't have to travel the whole area to know what's going on. And possibly the whole state. Depends, God has to read that part of it. Or maybe I'll see it soon enough. I don't know. You're not good people. You're not saving anyone, any of you. You're the reason crime exists. You're the reason crime is so high, all of you, unreversed. Whoa! We're very busy here in Walmart. Is this woman okay? She's got her hood up. I guess she's putting some. Is she jumping it? Looks like she might be jump starting. I want to make sure she's okay. The security probably won't stop. They're just like everyone else. Perpetrating a fraud. Okay, she's putting coolant in. Looks okay. Thank you, Larry. Like a lot of people, they take the money to do it to me because they know I'm not violent, but they don't believe in the curses and all that, so they're pretty stupid. Because you're not. It's no There's no danger. There's no real danger. So they take the work. It's easy money generally, but curses will get them somewhere in their life. Thank you, Larry. Okay, so here's one of the things that's going on during Pride Month. They're increasing the curses of criminal sexuality in the hopes that it's going to affect somebody that's gay or into the Pride event, or even occur in conjunction with the Pride event. So you can heal that. But the thing is, it's bringing additional demons to the community. It's affecting everybody. And you may not know it's affecting you. Well, you could, if you look. You might go, oh, no wonder, somebody went out and had sex at a bar last night. Or think about doing it tonight. Instead of getting married and having a real life. Or maybe even gay or something like that. But it's not only that. It's not only gay. But like, I can see that, in other words, these people are probably cursed to have it happen, but they're not at the level where I would see it, because it's not, I wouldn't say imminent, but it's not above a certain level, which increases risk in sexual things happening outside of what should happen. So like, they might, like, it's a young girl, she might meet a boy that is sexually active. I used to have friends, and they just, they could date a girl and, have sex with a girl. They wouldn't think twice. But the girl that they had sex with is generally usually someone that they're just playing. So stuff like that increases. And then, of course, crimes against children and women and even men will increase at that point. Sexual crimes. But that's not the only thing that it causes. Well, stay peaceful. Praise God.